mistakes. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Your rush hour live. Yeah. Hi, Amber. Hi, Michelle. Just using a toothpick over here. All right. I always have to make sure. I have to be careful with my toothpicks, otherwise the kitty cats get them. In fact, I'm just going to go throw it away now. We'll just go and get all the trash in. All right? Do it all at once. I had a pretty good therapy session. Actually, it was pretty empowering. This is probably the best that I've been doing since I can remember, man. And was all kind of new. So, I'm in what I would call the discovery portion of this. I'm discovering what the benefits are going to be to the freedom. I've given myself permission to just go ahead and let things go. And emotional sobriety has a lot to do with this. I actually went to ChatGPT. I just knew I was supposed to talk about something. Wasn't sure what, but I'm guessing this is it. All right. Today we're going to talk about the price of emotional sobriety, not just emotional sobriety itself. All right. Because when you're going through this process, it's going to feel, God, it's hard to put words to it. Empty, barren, destitute. You're going to feel like you have nothing. And I'm not going through this part, but when I started out, I had to become an empty vessel first. And I had to rebuild. I was just talking to my therapist and gave her another resource for a client. Therapy's so weird for me. It's not weird. It's just I'm there to heal, and I'm very intentional about what I do. And I think sometimes my therapist forgets that she's my therapist. And don't get me wrong, we're both very much about HIPAA. Absolutely. But she was kind of describing, this guy, and he wants to be a better person. He is trying his, and he wants, he doesn't want to go back to his family and say sorry. He wants to show them with his actions that he has become a better person. But he's having a hard time doing it because he still feels the blame and the shame, the guilt that went along with his behavior. Which most folks here know what's missing. The fourth and fifth step, and they're not going to a peer group, anything like that, probably because God, So I sent her a resource for a great recovery coach that I know would make them confront that stuff so that they can find the courage. They can find that unsuspecting inner resource that we seem to have so that he can go and show his family that he has changed. Wouldn't that be a cool thing? Wouldn't it? And I don't know what's going to happen with it. And I may never know. But it's still the correct thing to do, is it not? We can't go around pointing out what's wrong without carrying a solution to it. Without the solution, it's just anger. It's just anger. All right. Hey, Leisure, good to see you. I like you're like, good afternoon, Leisure. Leisure here. Leisure is in the room. Daily Trudge is probably going to change a little bit. Just mostly in how I talk, what it is that I have to say. We're all changing. And if you have been following the Daily Trudge for any amount of time, you've been watching me change over the last years. I've been doing this. I mean, well, in another month, 8 years. Actually, February it was beginning of February. Be 8 years that I've been doing this, or I go live almost every single day, sometimes twice a day. Which, just to kind of let you know, is probably going to go down to. It's probably just going to be one a day here shortly. I'm adding some other things into my life. I'm adding some hobbies into my life that are not AA or recovery related. Yeah. You probably figured out what I'm going to do. I mean, my drum set's sitting behind me. The plan is I'm going to try and, this is the plan. I'm going to go take some drumming lessons. People think I'm a great drummer because I headlined at 9 months of playing drums. No, so this is the way that it worked. Okay. Because I started playing drums. I was good enough to play out by that time. And I'm all right. Our band wasn't the greatest. Now, we got a chance on Thursdays to play at Herman's Hideaway, which is a great night. Thursday is a great spot to start out with because it's usually ladies' night. All right. So I took advantage of this. And what they did is they gave us 200 tickets, and what you are based off of is how many people show up with your tickets. Okay. Now, Herman's Hideaway is about 2 miles away from Denver University. Okay. Now I am a promoter. People think, I don't know, people tend to think I'm rich, they've always done that to me. Okay. So anyway, so what happened was this, because I took 100 of those tickets, and it was a 3-piece band, gave them each 50. I'm like, I can get rid of 100 tickets. I bet I can get rid of my 100 tickets before you guys get rid of any of yours. Right. Took me about 3 days. I just went to all the local bars around DU. And hey, you want to go to it? It's ladies' night Thursday night, Herman's Hideaway. You should go down there. We're gonna have some great music, have a lot of fun, right? So I got a bunch of really cute girls to show up with plenty of money, and that's why we became a headliner. It wasn't because of our music, right? But drunk people don't seem to give a fuck. So, anyway, Amber says, go live while doing those hobbies because I need something to listen to while I'm doing my hobbies. Yeah, no, not yet. I'm not comfortable enough yet to do that. Maybe someday. My best friend used to play there a lot, played there a ton. Yeah. Yeah. Herman's is kind of the gateway to the rest of the music community. Back in the 90s and 2000s, if you didn't play Herman's at some point, then you weren't even a band. So, all right, let's go ahead and get this started. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm your host. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Interesting fact, after that happened, I was no longer in a band, and I wasn't really wanting to be. And what I did is I went on to starting to interview local bands and put them on the radio. So I've been interviewing and been on radio for actually quite some time. I've had a lot of experience with it. That was a lot of fun. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the price of emotional sobriety. All right. So emotional sobriety, it costs something. And if it didn't, it wouldn't be worth a damn. It wouldn't be worth anything if there wasn't a price to it. See, everything that we do requires what we would call skin in the game. Got to have skin in the game. Some effort, something that you may lose, something you might lose if you do not follow through. What is it in this case? It is your sobriety. It's a high price. It's a very steep price, and it's worth every amount of it. Right? So getting sober was hard, but staying emotionally sober, that is the real tuition fee. That is the price that is paid. And what are we giving up? Let's name off some things: ego, pride, that promoter instinct, the need to, that life just isn't good if I'm not getting enough likes or loves or emoticons from people, that people aren't paying attention. Like I'm getting a little weird with somebody right now because they were supposed to tell me when they would like to be on the podcast, and they're not saying anything now. So I sent them a question mark. A little impatient. They'll go down there. Meow to your face, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Can you guys hear him? Such a cute whiny whine. What else are we gonna give up? What else are we demands? We're gonna give up playing God, anger, angst, resentment. I keep going. That is the price for emotional sobriety. Because what is emotional sobriety? The simple way to describe it is this: that I no longer utilize other people for the way that I feel, for how I act. I do not point my finger at other people for my own behavior. Now, I did it the other way before, and this became a habit, a bad habit. And the habit was utilizing other people and their problems to make my problems worse so I could drink. Well, if you had the problems that I had, you would drink too. And often the people would say, yeah, I'd probably be drinking too. You are correct. But here's the problem. Problem doesn't exist. I made it up. I created it in my own head. Yeah. We alcoholics are very imaginative. Very. Okay. When people say things like, think outside the box, to us, we're like, are you stupid? Why are you in a box? Why'd you put yourself in a box? But yet we are living in our own box, aren't we? Our box of alcoholism, we're keeping ourselves there. We refuse to come out because of that. Sunlight of the spirit touches us. Oh no, we might get well. We don't want that. It burns. It burns. So I had to throw a little LOTR in there. Right? So there's a price to pay, whether I grow or whether I stay stuck. There's going to be a price. So I picked the price that leads to freedom. We need freedom. I already have enough of the world telling me what I'm supposed to be, how I'm supposed to act, and all these other things. Now, Leisure says imaginative. You mean manipulative? In this case, it's the same thing, Leisure. Yeah, using your imagination to manipulate. Absolutely. See, there's always choices. There's always choices. Oh, I didn't have a choice. Oh, no, you had a choice. Sometimes the choice is nothing, right? But anyway, so the first price of letting go of being right, okay, and this is a tough one for alcoholics. Our need to be right is stronger than our desire to be happy, or at least it used to be. All right, what's this? What's the saying? Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Because when you're trying to be right all the time, at least for me, I argue. I'll argue with you. Well, that's just wrong, you know. And I come across like for me, and and I'm gonna tell you, this is opinion, kinda, but there's a lot of experience and clinical knowledge to it. Day counting, mocktails. No, I don't agree with it. I think it's kind of silly. We alcoholics just want what we want. And I know that we're going to look for an easier, softer way. If you want a frou-frou drink, go to Applebee's and get one. They have plenty of them. But what we don't need to do is create a whole bar. Sober bar is an oxymoron. The name of it in and of itself. So, you know, so but at the same time, do I want to go around thinking I'm right in that, or do I want to be happy? Do I want to confront that? Do I want to get into an argument? Well, or should I just wait until the place closes and then I can go offer a hand to help? Because I know it's going to close. They don't last. I've never seen a sober bar last more than a year. Never. I haven't seen it yet. Right? I'm not one to jump on something until I see the outcomes of it. What's the success rate? What's going on here? How many people have gone through it? Is it working? What was your experience? How did it happen? See, and then a lot of times people can't describe that to me, and then I know it's bull crap. I know it's just toxic positivity. All right. So emotional sobriety means choosing peace over ego. I don't need to win the argument. I need to win my serenity. Why is this not scrolling? Here, we're going to do a reload then. Okay. Do a quick reload. See if that helps it out any. Because what we're striving for is our own peace of mind, right? So, like I was saying before, it's going to feel weird in the beginning. Excuse me. And it feels weird because it is something new. And when you experience something new, it's the unknown and it can be kind of scary, right? This is where the people that you hang out with, your meetings, if you go to meetings, your peer support meetings or whatever meetings you go to, and if you decide to bring a higher power into your life, this is where it's utilized, right? Because one of the main things is like I see it happen often where a new person will come in and they don't really start to make friends in the program. And then what happens is they go back to their abusers. And I see that. I see it happening. I see it happening a lot. Right. So, so no more emotional anesthesia. Right. So these are the feelings that we used to drink over: grief, fear, disappointment, loneliness, and all the stuff we numbed is waiting for us. Those problems didn't go away. I just numbed them so I didn't have to. I post my password on to fit. Don't post a password on Facebook. What's wrong with you? Oh, I haven't read the rest of it. All right. Feelings don't kill me. Their feelings aren't going to kill you. But if you run from them, they will. Ignoring your problems for us leads to resentment. And resentment leads to anger. Anger leads to all these other things. And then that'll affect us physically. Who knows? You might have a heart attack. You might have a stroke. These are things that are eligible in your life if you decide that you want to be angry all the time, right? So what's the third price? Accountability instead of blame. We are now going to take accountability for who we are. Right? Now, when it comes to accountability, yes, you're taking accountability. You're doing these other things. You're doing these things, right? You're taking care of your stuff. You cannot expect other people to do the same. You can't. You can hope and pray that they do, But not everybody needs to dig as deep as we do either. Right? So don't expect that. Just be a good example around it. Because if I'm expecting other people to do it, then am I really being accountable? Hang out with other people that are accountable. Now, here's the thing. If you start taking accountability and changing all these things, the people that you attract will change. You will attract the people that do the same thing. Okay? For me, if you were going out of your way to be fake, it would drive me nuts. I don't want to be around you. I don't. It drives me crazy for some. I can handle it for a little bit. It's mostly with family. All right. Normal people. I can put up with it for a minute. No worries. All right. But people that are transparent, who are inexplicably themselves, that's what attracts me. RuPaul. I think RuPaul's awesome because they are themselves. I don't know what I say they because I don't know if they prefer he or she. Not that I care, and I doubt RuPaul cares. See, people that and RuPaul don't care because they know who they are, so they don't need a pronoun in order to be attached, so that you know who they are. It's just another way for people to grab attention, right? What is the third price? Oh, that is the third price. Accountability instead of blame. All right. So ownership hurts, especially when you're wrong. The thing is, my brain loves excuses, but excuses don't keep me sober. And accountability isn't punishment. It's freedom disguised as humility. Accountability is freedom disguised as humility. I look at it the right way. What is the fourth price? Boundaries. Right? Emotional sobriety means saying, no, I'm not doing that today. No, you cannot talk to me like that. No, I don't owe you the old version of myself. Boundaries are not walls. They are fences with a gate that you control. See, I used to think that boundaries were these big, thick walls, but they're not. Boundaries need to be see-through. So it's more like a chain link fence with a gate. And this gate, okay, so for some people, the gate is wide open. For me, it's wide open for me. Several people here that way. My wife, that gate's wide open for her. There are other people in my life where it's open enough for them to be able to peek through or whatever, so they can see what's going on and maybe want what I have. So I could have those, those people and attract those people. Some people, the door is closed, but they have certain keys. I've allowed certain things to be able to come through that door. Then there are some people, they get no keys, the door is shut. The gate is closed. But I'm willing to talk to you over the fence. Now, if you decide what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get a little step ladder so I can see Dion a little bit better, and you show a little bit of respect, and we start to talk, that gate's going to start to go open a little bit. But my boundaries come with trust. They come with trust, loyalty, and here's a big one, discernment. You got to have discernment. All right. So, what's the fifth price? Spiritual discipline. Prayer when I don't feel like praying. Calling someone instead of isolating. Going to a meeting even though I don't want to go to a meeting. Spiritual discipline is doing the simple things, especially when life isn't simple. The simple things, the right things. You know what goes along with simple? Integrity. And when we do things that hold integrity, then I'm an integritous person. The sixth price, letting people be who they are. Emotional sobriety is dropping the illusion that we can fix, manage, or rescue other people, or the opposite, letting other people try and fix us. I don't get to play God today, and thank God for that. Thank God for taking away me being my own higher power. Thank you, God. The seventh piece, this is the big one, your old identity. And you will lose your old identity. See, here's the thing. If you are an alcoholic, you go to AA for a little bit, your drinking career will never, ever, ever be the same. Your drinking career has been disrupted. Because you will get, after a while, the alcohol, after time, those thoughts will start to go away, but they will reappear here and there. See, I had 10 years of sobriety. I went out and it was a different hell. It was an entirely different hell. There's nothing I've never found, well, maybe some of my PTSD flashbacks, but when you have a head full of AA and a belly full of booze 24 hours a day, it will tear you down. Right? So no more playing the martyr, being the victim, being a savior, the tough guy, the people pleaser, or the screw it all alcoholic. We have to find a place in the middle where we can live. So, emotional sobriety costs us our old coping strategy, the ones that kept us sick. I'm not that guy anymore. And yeah, that costs something. But these were things that I was willing to get rid of. What are they? The character defects. The character defects that are keeping me out of the sunlight of the spirit. Because without the sunlight of the spirit, I do not get the nourishment that I need to be able to help other people. I need the sunlight of the spirit. I love being in the sunlight of the spirit. Because I hid in the dark for way too long. It was easy to hide. It was easy to hide in the dark corners, in the recesses. But when the light is on you, you got to be the best example that you can. Then you're going to have to admit when you're wrong and be accountable, right? So what is the payoff? All right. There's a few things with the payoff. Peace that doesn't get shaken by chaos. You ever been to a group conscious? Have you ever participated in a group conscious? That is chaos. Because that's when people think that they can start talking crap or whatever. Grassroots is we're pretty good about it, but even then it gets where the last one that we had, I hadn't noticed that we had gone an hour already. And somebody brought up a vote. They're like, I'd like to vote that we end the group conscious. I looked, I'm like, yep, I second it. Because we'd had enough. That's okay too. Right? They found peace in the chaos. You too can find peace in the chaos. You are capable of it. A consistent emotional baseline. You know what a baseline is? It is the base. It is the starting point. When you wake up in the morning and you make the decision to pray, instead of going to the liquor store, you have created a baseline. You have made a decision. Baselines also help with boundaries. This is the baseline. This is where nobody gets to cross, even me. Okay. Now remember, boundaries means that if you are treating yourself a certain way, you're going to allow other people to do that. So let's not forget that some of those boundaries are internal boundaries. If you call yourself a name, apologize to yourself out loud. You called yourself a name out loud. So now you must apologize. I don't care who's around, I do it. People think I'm crazy already, so who cares? Being someone your kids, partners, and friends can trust. That part's going to feel weird. Every Wednesday, I go over to Community Reach Center. They let me walk wherever I want. Even the staff that it's there, they don't give me a second glance because I act like I belong there. Why? Because I belong there. I do. I'm people give me keys to churches, they all sorts of stuff. Beyond that, God trusts me too. He trusts that I'm going to help his children when he puts them in my path. No more emotional hangovers. Freedom from the roller coaster, a life you don't need to escape from. The price is high, but the rent on misery was probably much higher. especially with the economy, the way the economy is, right? So emotional sobriety isn't cheap, but neither is the cost of living. Sick, scared, and full of resentment. So every day I decide what price I'm going to pay: the price of growth or the price of regret. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and keep on trudging.